Hey, what's going on everybody? Commander Crane here, and we are back with another Pioneer deck tech, and today we're going to be talking about the newest version of Golgari spiders. So, before we hop into the video here, let me know in the comment section below at the end of the video, what do you think about the deck? Is there a specific spider or really spicy card that I definitely should have put in this deck, or do you have suggestions for upcoming videos? Just let me know in the comment section. And real quick before we hop into it here, so a while ago, I did a Golgari Spiders deck here on the channel. But with Duskmourn, we got a whole bunch of new spider cards and spider synergy cards, and I'm really excited to bring this deck back. And it definitely seems stronger than ever. There's some really good spiders and spider synergy cards in this new set of Duskmourn. So, very excited. Let's go ahead and hop into it here. So, before we look at like the new spiders, let's go ahead and look at the old guard, the original spiders that are still in the deck. So, we're playing 4 Nyx Weaver, 2 Llanowar Green Widow, and 3 Ishkana Graph Widow. So Nyx Weaver's fantastic because it fills our graveyard, and then obviously it's also an enchantment creature, so it counts for 2 types, which, because we're gonna need Delirium for sure. We're really gonna need it. Llanowar Green Widow, still playing, only down to 2 copies now, but it is still really good nonetheless. We're able to buy it back from our graveyard, which is really nice. And then Ishkana, Ishkana. It's really good. One of the best creatures in the deck, arguably the best creature in the deck. It's absolutely fantastic. Once we have Delirium, we get 3 spiders, and then it has an activated ability that says, hey opponent, you gotta start doing something, otherwise we're gonna take you out with Ishkana. So definitely huge fan of all of these spiders. But let's go and take a look at the new spiders that we're playing in this deck. So, we are playing 4 copies of Brood Spinner, 2 Twitching Doll, and 3 the Swarm Weaver. So, Brood Spinner is absolutely fantastic. It's a 2/3 for 2 with reach. When it enters Surveil 2, which that's just absolutely fantastic right there. And then 6 mana and tap it. Create a number of 1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying equal to the number of card types among cards in your graveyard. So essentially it's Delirium, you know, whatever your, I guess Delirium number, I don't know, whatever. It's really good. I love Brood Spinner. This card is fantastic. It definitely was, I would say, the overall inspiration to rebuild this deck for sure. Definitely huge fan of Brood Spinner. We're also playing 2 copies of Twitching Doll. I really just like this card in general. It's a mana dork, but when you tap it for mana, it gets a nest counter on it, and then you can tap, sacrifice it, create a 2/2 green spider with reach for each counter on the Twitching Doll. So as we make more mana, it gets more counters. But the one thing that's really sweet about it is it's an artifact creature, so it helps with the Delirium. It's all kind of making sense now a little bit. So definitely huge fan of Twitching Doll. So the Swarm Weaver. It itself is not a spider. I get that. It's a scarecrow. When it enters, we make 2 1/1 black and green insect creature tokens with flying. That's already awesome for a 2/3/4 that does that. But as long as we have Delirium, insects and spiders you control get +1/+1 and have death touch. So it's pretty much a lord for the deck, which is just absolutely fantastic. If we're able to curve this into Ishkana, I mean, wow, we are way ahead on board with that. So definitely a huge fan of the Swarm Weaver and the new spiders that are added to the deck. There was a couple of spiders I ended up cutting, which they definitely weren't bad. It's just Brood Spinner and Twitching Doll and the Swarm Weaver are absolutely fantastic cards. Okay, so we got the graveyard synergy here. The biggest thing though is we need Delirium. So what other cards can we play to actually help us get Delirium essentially? So we are playing 4 copies of Grisly Salvage, 1 Witherbloom Command, and 3 Liliana of the Veil. Grisly Salvage is absolutely fantastic. I feel like I've been saying that a lot with this deck, but that's because a lot of the cards are. It helps fill our graveyard. Witherbloom Command is kind of like Grisly Salvage copy number 5, but has a little bit more flexibility. Liliana of the Veil, simply put, we need Planeswalkers to help us get Delirium. Liliana of the Veil is absolutely fantastic. It fills our graveyard. It itself, obviously, when it's in the graveyard, it helps count for the Planeswalker type. It's just really good. That's why we're playing Liliana of the Veil. And then rounding out this deck here, we're playing a whole bunch of removal because we are a mid-range deck. We're playing 4 copies of Thoughtseize, 4 Fatal Push, and 2 Assassin's Trophies to be able to take out any problematic card that comes our way. So that's the entire main board. Let's go and hop into the lands real quick, which our land base is a pretty standard Golgari mana base. So 4 Blooming Marsh, 4 Overgrown Tomb, and 2 Llanowar Waste are our main dual lands in the deck. We're also playing 4 Darkboar Pathway, 2 Restless Cottage, and 2 Hive of the Eye Tyrant. We are also playing 1 Cavern of Souls, 1 Boseiju, and 1 Takenuma. And then rounding out our lands, we are playing 2 Swamps and 1 Forest. And unsurprisingly, as our spicy basic land of the day, we are featuring the brand new full art Duskmourn basics, which these Man, these are sweet. I really, really do like these. You know, they're all like at base. It kind of reminds me of the Amonkhet one. The base of it is the same, but they all look a little bit different. You know, like obviously you got like the staircase in the one, and then I don't know where they're at in that one. It kind of looks like some greenery room, that kind of thing. I don't know. It's just really, really cool. Definitely huge fan of the basics here. So don't go anywhere yet, though. We still have to talk about our sideboard as well as some budget alternatives for the deck. So sideboarding is going to be really, really simple. Graveyard Hate, play Leyline of the Void. Leyline of the Void, I never thought I would ever say this, but it's actually really cheap right now. It was just reprinted in Duskmourn. There was a whole new Leyline cycle, but the black one, they really like Leyline of the Void. They're keeping it around, and they reprinted it. So you can get them for less than $2 US a piece. Definitely pick those up for this deck. We're going to want some extra discard spells. I would recommend Duress. Duress is just an absolutely fantastic card in all sideboards. It's super good. If you're playing black and you build a sideboard, play some copies of Duress. Crippling Fear. I'm playing Crippling Fear as our mass removal spell of choice, just because you choose a type, creature type, and then creatures that aren't of the chosen type get -3/-3 until end of turn. So we can name Spider and we can take out our opponent's creatures while we still, get to stick around on the board, which is really, really good. And then Damping Sphere. Damping Sphere has always been an excellent sideboard card, especially with mono green going around, and it's even pretty good against Is It Phoenix. Definitely pack some number of Damping Spheres because it's a fantastic sideboard card. And the last thing we have to talk about is the budget options for this deck, which it's really simple. Play budget dual lands, cut the Overgrown Tombs and some of the expensive dual lands, and go ahead and play some budget ones. You can also swap Thoughtseize. I didn't include this, but Liliana of the Veil is relatively pricey too for the deck. The biggest thing is you're going to want another Planeswalker to help with the Delirium. I believe in the budget list, I played a Vraska Golgari Queen because it's still really, really good, but the main thing is it's a cheaper-ish Planeswalker. So do keep that in mind if you're going to swap out the Lilianas. So the current list as it's configured right now is only 315 US, which is relatively, I'd say it's a little bit on the cheaper end for a Pioneer deck, but like we always talk about here on the channel, if you're playing a black-based mid-range deck, your deck is going to be pricier on average. Most of the aggro decks we build here are about $200, but, when you need all these good dual lands and Thoughtseize and, Fatal Push and, Liliana of the Veil, it's going to add up a lot. But I was able to get the budget list down to only 93 US. The only things I changed in the main board besides the lands were Thoughtseize and Liliana of the Veil. That's all I did. Other than that, I didn't swap any other cards. So if you're definitely looking for a sweet budget list, I definitely would recommend checking out the Spider one that's in the description below. But in general, if you like spiders or if you like Golgari midrange decks, I think this would be a perfect deck for you. Just in general, the cards are sweet. They synergize with each other. Graveyard decks are really, really fun, but it's nothing like too broken though. We're just filling up our graveyard and getting a ton of value with all of our different spiders. So let me know in the comment section below if you do end up building a deck like this, or if you already have one, even in a different format, and let me know what cards that you like to play in that deck specifically. So this takes us to the end of the video here. Thanks so much for watching. The deck lists are in the description below if you'd like to check them out for yourself. Huge shout out to our channel members, Ralph, Matt, Arcadius, Ray, Gary, and Zerwanoki. If you are interested in being a channel member, it's only $1 US a month. You get access to the exclusive Discord as well as other features here on the channel. So I'm Commander Crane. Thanks for watching this video, and I hope to catch you in the next one.